Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I've got my backpack on. It looks like I'm going somewhere, but I am not. I actually just got home, just trained a client in person. I do that every Thursday. And so just got home, gonna make a quick snack, hop on a posing session I have with one of my clients, and then I have a phone call, then I need to get back to work. But I just wanted to start this vlog and say hello, and I am excited for this vlog because I have a couple of things I want to talk about that are very relevant to where I'm at right now with my season as a bodybuilder, and also some things I think that just aren't talked about enough that I want to touch on that I think a lot of you guys will resonate with. So welcome to the vlog, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the footage.
So this may sound a little odd, you guys, but I have this from Cure Nutrition salve. I used to think it was pronounced salve, but somebody corrected me once. I think it was my mom, and she's like, no, it's salve. So I have this, and I don't know if I can break it open with one hand, but anyways, it's a balm, okay, and I have been really sore this week in my glutes, and if you guys want a full glute workout, check out my last video. I did record that for you guys, but I've been really sore this week, sore in a good way, but I put this on my glutes. So basically, if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it's like a balm, so it's kind of like icy hot, only it has CBD in it. So I put it on my glutes the other night, and oh my goodness, it was the most amazing thing. Like, imagine icy hot on your glutes, but this has CBD in it. So I like to think, oh, I'm kind of like getting the benefit of the CBD, you know, to relax my muscles. But anyways, this is really great. I also recommend this if you are somebody who sits all day for work. Naturally, when you sit all day, or like you're at a desk and you're working on a computer, you're going to hold a lot of tension in your traps. So I like to put this on like my traps or my neck when working, or just before bed. I'll put it on my low back, but highly recommend this. It lasts so long too. You'll get one of these, and like mine usually lasts me several months, and that's sometimes even with me like using it every day, so it lasts a really long time.
All right, I'm so excited, you guys, because I just booked my flights to the Arnold. So if you're gonna be there, comment below. I would love to meet you. I will likely be spending a lot of my time at the Arnold at the Angel Competition Bikinis booth. So as a point of reference, if you're there, it's probably where I'll be. But I'm also so excited because I have about eight clients that are coming, and I'm so excited to have so many clients in one spot at once. So I'm so excited. I actually have a client competing on the amateur at the amateur show on Friday. So if you're going to be at the Arnold, comment below. I would love to meet you guys. And I fully intend on vlogging the whole weekend. So I will get as much footage as I can from the Arnold. For those of you that don't know what the Arnold is, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's big fitness expo in Columbus, Ohio. And it's kind of it's somewhat comparable to the Olympia. I would typically say the Arnold and the Olympia are the two biggest fitness expos. I think they are the two biggest fitness expos of the year, and they're also the two most prestigious pro shows of the year. So I am excited for that.
So I would like to give you guys a little book update. So I'm currently in my reading era, and I told you guys I was starting this book. In my last vlog, I mentioned I was starting it. So I actually just finished it. Took me about a week to finish, and I'm gonna give you guys a quick little synopsis and review. So I typically don't read books like this. I usually read a lot of mysteries, psychological thrillers. So it's like a more of a memoir, and I really liked it because I watched iCarly growing up, and Jeanette McCurdy was one of the main characters in that show. So it was actually really interesting for me to kind of hear about what went on in the background when she was on that show. But specifically, I will rank it, I'm going to say an 8.5 out of 10. And the reason is, the first 2/3 of the book was a little slower for me, but the last 1/3 of the book was a solid 10 out of 10 for me. So that's why I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. So I will say, if you do read it, it takes, for me at least, it took about 2/3 of the way to really before it really became a page turner. But I really appreciated her vulnerability in it. So her mom, just I'm not going to give anything away, but her mom basically wasn't physically abusive, but her mom essentially kind of gave her an eating disorder, and it's something she dealt with a lot in her later adult life, and something she still struggles with. So she talks a lot about that, and I thought it was just very, very thought-provoking. So anyways, 8.5 out of 10. If you guys want me to continue to do book reviews, I will, because I am on to a new book now. So that is my little synopsis and quick little review of this book.
Good morning, my people. It is a new day. I am actually in the parking lot at the mall. It's a Saturday, so Saturdays are like that's my one day of the week I don't work. It's a rest day for me, so it's kind of like my chill day, and I'm actually meeting my mom. I don't really know what we need to do here. I think she has to get some like new sunglasses, but other than that, we're just gonna meet up. We're gonna start by getting some coffee at the Nordstrom coffee house. It's so good, so good. Nordstrom has such good coffee. And then we're just gonna like walk around and spend a little time together. So if there's anything worth filming, I will film for you guys, but wanted to carry on this vlog into the next day. Just killing some time waiting for my mom, and I am in love with these. They are beautiful. I don't know how much they are, but probably a pretty penny, but love them. We're at the mall, and mom never fails to find something. Say hi to YouTube. You haven't been on in a while. I think the last video, yeah, mom is a shopaholic, but I love her for it. Show the nails, because you have to show your nails. You have the best nails all the time. Valentine's Day themed. Love it. So just got back to my car. It is raining and gross here. You guys can probably kind of see in my windows. And that was so sad. So that clip that I showed you guys before of the energy drink, I went into GNC, and fun fact, I used to work at GNC in high school, and it was actually it was one out in the mall. But I went in there because there's one at the mall, and they had that Ghost energy drink flavor, which it's hard to find that one. The strawberry margarita one, I think that's what it is. And so we go to check out, and the register stopped working. And I was just kind of like, maybe I can come back in 5 minutes. And I did that, and he had closed the store, and I assumed that was because the register was malfunctioning. So kind of sucks for him that he can't make any sales, and clearly I couldn't get my energy drink. But life moves on, and now I'm going to go and do my weekly haul at Trader Joe's. So here's Trader Joe's, and I'm currently sitting in a line of cars to just get into the parking lot. This Trader Joe's has the worst parking lot situation. It's hard to see, but there's a line to get into the parking lot, and then it's just this one little square, and it gives me major anxiety every time I'm parking. But do it for the Trader Joe's goods, because TJ's is the GOAT.
Showing you guys my 2 favorite things that I got from Trader Joe's. I didn't really get anything that I don't normally get. I just got some basics: chicken, eggs, spinach, zucchini. But these 2 things are from Trader Joe's only, and this is my favorite seasoning from Trader Joe's. Love it. You guys know that if you've watched my previous videos. I feel like a broken record, and love these. These are so good, and lots of fiber and potassium. So if you do struggle to get in your fiber, or you fall low with potassium, 510 milligrams per serving, that's a lot of potassium. So love these 2. And again, these are, to my knowledge, you can only get these from Trader Joe's. Okay, I am hanging out, just doing a little bit of content work at my computer, but I wanted to come on here. It is a rest day. I think I mentioned that before. I can't remember if I did or not, but I wanted to come on and talk about something really briefly, because I used to be one of those people. This was years ago. I could not take a flipping rest day. And this is something as a coach I see more oftentimes than not, people struggling to rest, or people will correlate a rest day with almost being weak, or they'll correlate training more with being better, when that is not always the case. And I've learned that the hard way. But I think it's really important to take your rest days first and foremost. One thing that always helps me is I like to look at it as, okay, rest days are productive, right? I think part of why a lot of people struggle to take them is it's you don't feel productive, you feel like you're being lazy, right? And the way I like to look at it is I like to use the analogy of, think of an electric car. So think of a Tesla, right? I don't have a Tesla, but when you go and let's say you go to the gas station and you're gonna plug it in, or you're just charging it from home, think of, okay, when it's stopped and it's charging, think of that as what you're doing when you are taking a rest day as an athlete, right? And when you're charging a Tesla, you're not looking at it as counterproductive. You're not looking at it as lazy, right? In fact, you're juicing that bad boy up so it can drive again. And so that's kind of the analogy I like to apply to rest days, is rest days are not
lazy. They are, I mean, you are productive. You're just being productive in a different way, right? Productivity, that term is very relative, and it doesn't just always mean, okay, how much can you do, right? You know, how much are you working out? How much are you, you know, go throughout the day? Productivity can also mean sitting back, relaxing, and like almost quote unquote charging yourself so you can go at it again for the week. So I've learned to love my rest days. I really have. But I do remember there was a time when I was first getting into bodybuilding, I would never take rest days. And my training was just kind of lackluster, which you notice that with people that overtrain, you just notice that their training is never, it's pretty lackluster, pretty, you know, just kind of like meh every day rather than like flipping amazing, just because usually people who overtrain, they're chronically inflamed. They're people that are typically also more susceptible to injury, to digestive issues, to systemic inflammation, to feeling puffy a lot of times. So I love my rest days, and I wanted to kind of share that analogy with you guys because it's just one that's really helped me. So friends, the main thing I kind of wanted to talk about in this video is, and I don't have a script, I never have a script, but I'm just kind of speaking like as things come to my mind right now. So I apologize if it sounds like a total like jumble of words right now. I'm gonna try to convey my thoughts clearly so it makes sense, but I wanted to talk a little bit about body image in your improvement season as a bodybuilder, so aka the time you're not in prep, the time you're away from stage. And you know, it's something that I feel like it's almost more important to have that support system, that coach in your improvement season, because it's so easy to get in your head. For example, I checked in this week and I don't know, I didn't like my pictures that much. I mean, we're all our own worst critics, right? And I'll put my progress pictures up above. So it's funny because I try never to be, I don't like to be that negative client, right? So when I check in with him, if I don't like my pictures or I'm like, yeah, you know, not having a good body image week, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, I look awful, right? Usually I'm just like, not loving my pictures this week, but I value and appreciate your input and your objective viewpoint. That's usually what I say, because like one of my biggest pet peeves in just life in general is I just hate negativity and hate when people are always just so negative. So anyways, but I think it's also valid to, it's okay to not love every set of progress pictures you're gonna take. And especially in your improvement season when you're not in prep, it's, you know, it's a bit of a mind game, right? And so I really valued Paul's response because he, you know, and this is just similarly to like if you do have a coach in the improvement season, it's so helpful to get that objective viewpoint, because it is hilarious because I took these pictures my progress pictures, I took these now, it was like 5 days ago, right? Compared to when I'm filming this video. And now I'm looking at them and I'm like, you know what? I look pretty good. Like, you know, and so it's so funny how our brain and our perception changes day after day after day, right? So I always tell my girls, you know, take what you see in your pictures in the mirror with a grain of salt, because the more you look at something, the more you get that just distorted viewpoint. And I'm gonna be the first person to tell you guys, as a coach, as somebody who's been, you know, been an athlete for a while, I still feel this way. And it's not that it necessarily like gets, I mean, I will say it gets better over time, but you know, it's always, I think, going to be something everybody struggles with to some degree. But I think what's gotten better for me over time is I'm very self-aware of it, right? So I know that if I look at a set of progress pictures one day, or I feel kind of bleh one day, well, I know that, hey, I have the potential to wake up tomorrow and feel the complete opposite, right? That is just typically how kind of our mind plays tricks on us. But, you know, I think body image is something that a lot of people just don't talk enough about. In their improvement season, you see a lot of competitors not talking, you know, about their journey when they're not in prep. You see a lot of, you know, people just posting throwback pictures and, you know, pictures from when they're stage lean, and like, that's awesome. But, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I do value people who show the other side too, and aren't just showing, you know, just showing the shreds and showing when they're stage lean, right? And that's not to say I look bad. I know to most standards, like my progress pictures are like, I look fine, I look great, but I am my own worst critic, right? As we all are. And, you know, I just want to tell you guys, like, I'm not perfect either. And I look at my pictures sometimes and I'm like my eyes play tricks on me. And I know that. And that's why I value Paul's responses so much. And just having that objectivity is so helpful. And it's just so funny because, like I said, I look at these pictures today, 5 days later, and I'm like, okay, I actually look pretty good. Whereas when I took them, I vividly remember just picking apart every flaw. And, you know, it's just so funny how your perception can change day to day. And I always tell my clients this. I always say, you know, you may check in 1 week and love your pictures, and then let's say you check in the next week and you absolutely hate your pictures. Well, what could have really changed that much in 7 days with your appearance? Unless you kind of like went off the wayside with the protocol, but like literally, what could have changed physically that much in a week, right, to your visual appearance? Not much. So therefore, that tells you all that's changing is your perception, is that brain. So, you know, and I always say a tip that I have is in my improvement season, and I tell my clients this as well, if you're having, you know, a bad body image day or a bad body image week, don't, like, when you're walking past the mirror, don't stop and like check yourself out, right? And I know that sounds funny, but you know, we get used to doing that when we're in prep. You know, you're seeing new lines all the time, you're always looking at yourself, and you know, so in the improvement season, stop doing that. You know, if it means you have to wear baggier clothes, or you know, wear, you know, looser clothes to the gym so you're not constantly fixating on yourself in the mirror, so be it, so do it. But anyways, I just wanted to touch real quickly on this because I just find that it's very interesting, and you know, I challenge you guys too, those of you watching who are competitors and who work with a coach, you know, look back at some pictures, like because I think a lot of us competitors, we save our progress pictures, right? I know I save most of them. And look back at, you know, a set of progress pictures that maybe back in the day you thought were like, you didn't like the way you looked, right? Look at them now, and I bet you're gonna look at them from a whole new light. And it's a similar concept for, you know, I know we all get it as competitors, these prep goggles, where, you know, when we're X days out from a show, we know we're lean, but a lot of times we don't feel lean enough. And then you look back at those pictures 5 months later and you're like, holy hell, I was so lean, but you don't see it at the time, right? So again, I think it's just important to be self-aware of this stuff. It's okay to experience bad body image days or weeks, right? We all have them, but I think it's just important to, you know, be self-aware enough to call yourself out, and, you know, self-aware enough to have a coach or have that subjective viewpoint that can kind of talk you back to earth too. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a little bit of everything, kind of some vlog footage, some pep talk footage, all that jazz. But I appreciate you guys, and I always love the comments, and I really appreciate you guys more than you know. So have a great day wherever you guys are, or whatever day it is when you're watching this. And I will catch you guys in my next video.